the Trump administration is sending American soldiers to Nigeria to fight Islam extremists. So, according to both Nigerian and American authorities, these 200 troop members from the US military who will be dispatched to Nigeria in the coming weeks will not be involved in direct combat. They will only be training Nigerian soldiers in the use of precision weapons. I'm going to break down why this matters on this channel. My name is Nenebi Tony. I'm a Ghanaian writer who lives in the US. On this channel, I talk about foreign policy and trade from the perspective of an African. And so if you like intellectual conversations, subscribe to this channel. So before we go further, we need to understand that the US and Nigeria have been military partners since 1960 when Nigeria gained independence. So as you stand now, they are American soldiers in Nigeria already, but they are very few and they are only there for technical support, right? So the 200 troops that have been announced by the Trump administration that they will be going to Nigeria in the coming weeks, they will also be aiding to the Nigerian soldiers already, the US soldiers already in Nigeria. But their work is a bit more technical than the ones who are already there, because their work is going to be involved in training Nigerian soldiers how to precisely identify your target and hit that target. And you know what? Let's go all the way back to August 2025 so that we can understand why this technical support is needed. All right. So on August 13th, 2025, the US State Department announced a foreign military sale deal with Nigeria. And what does that mean? So under American law, if the US government or defense contractors in America want to sell weapons to a foreign country, the State Department have to approve the deal and present the deal before Congress. So when the State Department made the announcement on August 13th, what they was doing was they were telling Congress that we are about to sell weapons worth over $350 million, around $350 million to Nigeria. What do you think? And then when the deal was announced to Congress, human rights watchdogs in the US got angry. So started opposing the deal. And their reason for opposing the deal is that they say the Nigerian government is involved in human rights abuses, which is interesting because the US has foreign military sale deal with Saudi Arabia, who also have a history of human rights abuse. But that's neither here nor there. So these human rights attacks on Nigeria were specific about the fact that Nigerian government, according to those human rights watchdogs, was not doing enough to protect Christians in Nigeria, even though we have a 50-50 ratio of Christians and Muslims in Nigeria. And so these attacks made their way to the doors of politicians. So Ted Cruz, who is the senator of the state I live in right now, Texas, started attacking Nigerian government, accusing Nigerian government of attacking Christians, even though it's not the Nigerian government itself that is doing that. So this accused by Ted Cruz made its way to Fox News. And so Fox News started attacking Nigerian government too. And one Saturday, President Trump was watching Fox News and heard that Christians were being persecuted in Nigeria. And so he went on his Truth Social and announced that he was going to go into Nigeria guns are-blazing to attack Nigeria because Nigeria was attacking Christians. And that is the news that made, that is the Truth Social post that made news around the world. Everybody was on edge. So we were shocked or not that surprised when on Christmas Day we heard that the Trump administration had actually went into Nigeria and made some attacks. And then it was later clarified that it was not without the support of the Nigerian government. So what happened was, in August, the armed deal was announced. In November, in spite of the existing deal that was going on, Trump threatened to attack Nigeria, and then in December, Nigeria and the US collaborated, which means that Trump's threats are no longer in the way of Nigeria and the US doing military engagement together. And why am I bringing this up? So, as part of the August 13th deal that was announced, the US was supposed to provide technical support to Nigeria. And why? Nigeria was buying precision bombs, precision rockets, and other precision kill weapons. So precision kill weapons are weapons that can directly hit your target. So there is less civilian casualties. Because usually the hardest part of military operations is civilian casualties. But the US has been able to develop killing technologies that does not impact civilians or have minimum impact on civilians. All right. And so those are the weapons Nigeria is trying to procure. So the US is supposed to provide technical support as part of the August deal. What was not supposed to be part of the deal was soldiers. So this means that probably the US is approving the precision deal with Nigeria, but because of the human rights rejection or objection to the deal, the US is adding soldiers to it so that the US can say that it is supervising Nigeria in the use of the weapons, so that the US can say that Nigeria is not using the weapons to attack Christians. You understand? So what I'm trying to tell you is that this is about insurance, really. The 200 US troops going to Nigeria is really about insurance. It's about so that the US can get its $350 million from Nigeria and not get backlash from American human rights watchdogs. You understand? Especially because the deal Nigeria signed with US in August would involve the three of the biggest defense contractors in America: the Lockheed Martin, BAE System, and RTX, missiles. These are the three of the biggest defense contractors in America. So they have a lot of influence with the US government. So this is not supposed to be something that will make you panic, right? And I don't know if I should, let me just end it by bringing this up. So last week, or a few weeks ago, I think it's a couple of weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, the chairman of ECOWAS, who also happens to be the president of Sierra Leone, President Bio, was in Ghana for a high-level security conference. And when he spoke at the conference, he said West Africa is the epicenter of terrorist attacks right now. So from Burkina Faso to Nigeria, ISIS is growing. So much so that they believe that there is more ISIS presence in West Africa than in the Middle East. So it is important that West African countries take steps to ensure that the growth of this terrorist organization does not expand beyond where it is right now, or so that we can eradicate them, right? And so this weapon deal coupled with soldiers is geared towards achieving the goal of eradicating terrorism in West Africa. And I believe because different governments in West Africa have been talking about it, it is something that we need to take serious. So I commend Nigeria for acting like an adult to ensure that they are protecting the citizens of Nigeria from terrorists. My name is Nenebi Tony. I'm a Ghanaian writer who lives in the US, and subscribe to my channel if you like intellectual conversations.